All right. Hey, I'm John Shen. I'm the author of Engaging Virtual Meetings. And oh my gosh, it's here. This conference we've been talking about for a whole year, the Engaging Virtual Meetings Conference 3.0, starts next week on Tuesday and every day through Saturday. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. every single day. Amazing speakers, amazing topics. And so, what we're broadcasting today here, we're hanging out. It's the Engaging Virtual Meetings Happy Hour, and we have a great guest with us. I've gotten a chance to do an interview with her earlier this year. She's the creator of the Deb Method. She has a new book coming out, and she's going to teach us one of her core skills is how to set goals for a conference. Now, of course, why would you want to set goals for a conference? Well, let me just tell you, you'll get more out of next week's conference if you set goals. So let's all give a huge round of virtual applause for our one and only Debra Eckerling. Debra, how are you doing?
I'm doing terrific and so glad to be here. And I'm really happy that we have live guests with us as well, because those, whether you're just watching live or you're here in person, it's great because there's something about that moment when you get to connect with people. This is the gold. The conference you think starts Tuesday, but actually starts right now with all these great new connections. So very happy to be here and really glad to make some new friends already.
New friends. We got people West Coast, East Coast, Best Coast, we got them from all over today.
Yes, we do. And you could be anywhere because, we're talking about your wonderful Engaging Virtual Meetings conference, but we live in the virtual space. Okay, yes, I've heard about people being out in real life. My life is still mostly virtual. And it's great because you have so many more opportunities to meet new people and learn new things. But because you have so many opportunities to meet new people and learn new things, you really have to be protective of your time and energy. So especially going into a conference, setting goals is really going to set you up for success. And what I'd love to do, if our gang is willing, is to just do a quick round robin of who you are, why you're here, and what you hope to gain from either this session or the conference as a whole. Sound good?
Sounds good. Yeah, you want to lead or you want me to lead?
Why don't you lead and then I will finish.
Okay, let's see too. Well, let's just ask a simple question. Name, location, right? And Deborah, maybe what's one of the goals you think you might have next week? How's that one sound good?
That's perfect.
Okay.
I'm going to put in the chat what we want.
We're going to go around in my order, if you don't mind. Leslie, I'm going to hit Leslie, and then I'm going to go Sandy, Donna, Renee, Cardell, and Kristen. So, Leslie, do you mind going first?
So I want to try to make my presentations more engaging. I have so much content and scientific information that it's hard to squeeze in the fun stuff. So I want to learn how to do that and make my audiences have a little bit more, a better time and make me a more preferred virtual presenter.
Thank you so much, Leslie. Yeah, one of the keys to me about learning, if it's fun, you're more likely to remember. All right. Let's head to Sandy Masters. Hello, Sandy.
Hi, I'm in Chandler, Arizona, and I'm a gig worker working from home. And I met John Chen through another virtual conference, worked as a producer for him under contract. And I had so much fun. And now I've just been kind of like a groupie, I guess. I'm kind of a groupie, but a goal for me, I guess, Wednesday is going to be my focus day where I'm going to be totally present because unfortunately I have other projects that I'm doing on some of the days and I'm thankful that it's going to be recorded. But you can never have too much practice in the virtual environment with live human beings, playing with the controls and observing how other people work the room and use the controls and use chat. And I know I'm going to pick up some gold dust that I'm going to be able to sprinkle over everyone that I impact in the work that I do. So thank you, John, for putting this together.
Well, and thank you, Sandy. Sandy's part of our planning committee. We have over 40 members on our planning committee who we meet every 2 weeks, and they help guide the content and the format of this program. And Sandy, the key principle I have is this meeting's not engaging because I'm here, right? The meeting's engaging because you're here. So we love people to take up gold dust and spread it somewhere else in their communities. Let's go to Donna.
Wait, I I need to add something before we go to Donna.
Yeah.
Sandy can just leave because she's got the principles down pat. She is laser focused. Wednesday is her day. And everything else is just like the desserts. So gold stars, you've got it going, but no, please don't leave. Oh, you jumped on the screen. I got scared. But that really is the key, which I'll talk about a little bit more, is really getting laser focused on your priorities. So good for you. Okay, now on to Donna.
Okay, I'm Donna Cunningham, and I am in Seattle, Washington area, and I live with John, and this is my third year. I haven't missed a moment of the EVM conferences, and I always learn so much every year and from all of the presenters, and I'm able to take the gold dust and sprinkle it back at work. So it's quite fun.
Nice.
Thank you. Let's head to Renee, who I spent the day with.
Yeah, I think I've spent the last week with you, really, John, because I was acting as virtual MC at the presentation summit with John, and oh my gosh, I don't know how he keeps up with everything. He's amazing. I've been learning from John for about a year and a half now. My first introduction to him was through a session called Turn on the Damn Camera. And like I notice here, everybody's got their camera on. John just has a way of engaging people in such a way that happens. And every time I talk to John, I learn so much. And I know that the people he's put together are like-minded, and my only goal is to go and meet more of this community of Johns and just continue learning.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Renee.
Thank you.
Let's head to Cardell Curry.
Good choice. So my name's Cardell. I'm originally from New Jersey by way of my parents. No relation to Snooki or the sandwich shop guy, pinky promise. And the reason I'm here is to leverage the knowledge and the wisdom of this group to shorten my learning curve. There's no sense in taking on all of the bumps, the scrapes, and the bruises when someone was kind enough to do it for you and in your place.
Excellent. Thank you, Cardell. Yeah, we're happy. I tell people all the time, what happens here is the result of thousands of failures, right? And so that's hopefully what you get here, is that we'll show you a path that has high odds of success. Speaking of high odds of success, let's talk to Kristen. Hi, Kristen.
Hi there. I am coming from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I met John through what's called the Idol Academy, probably about 6 months ago, and I really took to the virtual event niche. And so I think my goal for this conference is to figure out exactly what that niche looks like. And I'm feeling like it's going to be an entrepreneur business where I do promotional or virtual events myself, that I'm the host, that I have people gathering. So I think this is going to be good.
Thank you, Kristen. I'm really looking at virtual hosting, and Renee got a little taste of it this week about what it takes to be a virtual MC. And there's more to it than meets the eyes. I'll just leave it at that. You can ask Renee.
I'm ready for that challenge.
There is more to it than anybody could possibly imagine.
I'm
going to connect with Renee.
One of our speakers is in the house. Let's say welcome to Doc Josh Yavelberg. What's going on?
Hey, everybody. Last push to get things done and have a good presentation. I'm looking forward to it. And we have a lot to show off, and I'm trying to get the marketing stuff out to you right now, John Chen, so that we can release the wonderful surprise / not surprise Engaging Virtual Meetings Academy. So it's going to be really cool, really awesome, and I look forward to big things for the year to come.
So Josh Yavelberg is part of GameCon, and Josh is really looking here to create a new version of what we thought gamification should be on a virtual conference. And so the more engaged you are when you get on this tool, the more points you get, the more things you'll be able to do. So we always like to say, the more you engage, the better it gets.
The more you engage, better it gets, based on communities of practice frameworks and diffusion of innovation. It's going to be really cool, and it's going to keep growing the failures and hopefully the whole thing isn't a failure, but we share our failures in this place. So it's going to be a really good place for it.
That's true. And Josh is a true doc. He is a PhD. So when he's doing some of this stuff, he is backing it with lots and lots of his knowledge over the years, as well as I can tell you practice. Like if you're in GameCon, there's nothing better than designing a game and getting people to actually use it and gain the value out of it. So that's really the key. Daniel. Hi, Daniel. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Very good. Where are you calling in from today?
Well, today I'm calling from Georgia.
Yes.
I'm here at a conference, but I'm from California. So I'm trying to adjust to the time zone.
Good luck.
And I'm in a hotel room 42 stories up.
Wow.
And the connection has been somewhat wobbly. So I don't guarantee what will happen.
Oh, well, so far so good. Hopefully you're registered for my conference next week. If you do you have any goals for my conference next week?
Well, actually, what got me to the conference was that the presentation you did for AXA, 2 weeks ago now, I think it was.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of pieces that I say I needed to elaborate on. Some of them just the setup of the studio. Some of it was some of the activities that you did and you talked about. You had us do and you talked about a little bit. So I'm hoping really the engaging part is what I want to do. I'm constantly working to make the sessions more engaging.
Perfect. And that's, to me, Daniel, it is the number one problem. People come back. Now that it's 2 years past the pandemic, people are over, like, does my camera work or mic work for the most part? But they say the hardest thing is getting people to engage with them, that many people have to present to black screens, people who won't ask questions, people who won't talk. And again, I hope my conference is the antithesis of that. That's what I hope for it to be. So.
Okay, great. Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Great. And the best part too is we have over a dozen speakers. So it's not just my version of it. What I love is by having different speakers, they have all honed something that has worked over the last 2 years and they're willing to share it. So even myself, I learned something during this conference. All right, Deb, that is everybody inside of their group.
Awesome. And I am Deb. As John said before, I'm the creator of the Deb Method, which is my system for goal setting simplified. And my book, Your Goal Guide, a roadmap for setting, planning, and achieving your goals. It's almost like a gamification in a book. I know, it's silly, but it is a road trip. And when you think about your goals as being the path, or the goals are the destination, when you think about the life you want, what does that look like? And to do that, you determine your mission, explore your options, brainstorm your path, the 3 phases in figuring out what you want and how to get it. And the system, amazingly, works really well also for when you're approaching events. So when you're going to an event, whether it's a conference or a summit or a workshop or whatever, or even a networking event, if you approach it with goals in mind, you're more likely to find success from the event. And there's so much to be done, but my motto is goal setting simplified, because I believe changing your life and doing all the things is challenging enough. The instructions need to be easy. So I made the instructions really, really easy. And it really starts with that visualization. When you think about the life you want, what does that look like? When you approach the conferences, you want to think about what pieces of information or new connections is the conference going to provide for me, for you, in reaching those goals. So first bit of homework, I want everybody to put your LinkedIn link in the chat. And if you're watching this live or the replay or you don't have access, just look me up, look John up and say, we met here. Because you can't reach your goals on your own. You need your people, you need the information, which is why I love events so much. I keep saying I love events almost as much as I love goals, but lately it feels like it's a toss-up because they work so hand in hand, right? Because that's where you get the people, that's where you get the information. And the biggest challenge with conferences is there's so much of that information. And that's why we start by setting the goals. So if we were doing a goal setting simplified workshop, I would say, when you think about the life you want, what does that look like? What I'd love to know from you all is, and you've all expressed it in one way or another, goals are one thing, but what is really the outcome? What is one win that if at the end of the conference you get, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, this is time well spent. Because the other part of that, which I was mentioning before, why I almost kicked Sandy out, is just kidding. When you target, or when you know what you want to get out of the conference, then you can go through the schedule and target all of the sessions that are going to help you for it. And I love the way that you've scheduled this, John, because every day is a different theme. And sure, you can go back and rewatch everything because it's going to be Facebook Live, correct? Yes, of course. Rhetorical. But for the sessions that really are speaking to your goals and what you want to accomplish, those are the ones you want to go to in person because you get this interaction. Now, if you upgrade, you get the Zoom experience as well, not just the chat. Oh, look, everybody's doing their LinkedIn's, gold stars for everybody. What was I saying? Oh, so you're going to make more deep connections if you're there in real time. And again, it's better to be on the Zoom, but even in the chat and interacting is important as well, because this is the number one rule. And cover your ears, John, because not all conference organizers like it when I say this. You can't go to everything. You can't meet everyone. Well, maybe you can't.
Well, I was gonna tell you this one on Deb. In my conference, you can go to everything because I actually designed my conference to be all keynotes, no breakouts. But meeting everyone, that's a different goal. I don't know if you can.
But even what Sandy was saying is she's got a really busy week, but Wednesday is the day where it's got the information that's going to make the most impact for her. That's great. So what I want you, can we pull up the schedule?
Yes, give me 1 second. And
Okay, while we're pulling up the schedule, I'd like you all to think about this. When you set a mission statement for your business, what you are doing is you're thinking about what it is you do, what makes you unique, and how you help others. When you create a mission statement for approaching a conference, it's what do you need to do and how can you help yourself? So big, and in helping yourself, then you're able to help more people. So it all's like that fun little windy road. So think about, and for me, for the, I don't think I set my goals for the conference. I love this space, and my goal is to meet as many people as possible. I do, and I also want to learn, of course, because I do speaking, I lead workshops, I do consulting, and because I'm all virtual, I'm always looking for new ways to make things more fun, more exciting, more interactive. And what better teacher than John and John's peeps? So whereas I'm excited to look at the sessions, I'm even more excited to meet the people. You know, you go to these conferences and we should go with Josh because Josh is one of the speaker. Oh, where's Josh's day? Can we pull up Josh's day?
Josh is going to be towards the end. He's on Thursday.
There you go.
Technology.
If gamification, which I am also kind of obsessed with, and I'm really excited about the link that you shared earlier because I'm going to come play Renee on Fridays with your group as well.
Yes.
But let's say gamification was really exciting for you, and Josh is like the king. You're going to want to not only go to Josh's session, but interact with him, send him a LinkedIn request, and maybe even comment and share so you're making an impression on Josh. Is there somebody here? Elizabeth is on the list, but she's not here. I want to up my Zooming skills. Well, I've got all this great engaging information. I really want to know what Zooming like a pro means. So I want to be sure to meet Elizabeth and follow her and engage with her content. So really, I'm talking backwards and forwards, but the first step before going to any conference is to make sure your LinkedIn is up to date and a reflection of who you are and what you do. Because when you make these connections, you want people to be like, oh, there's Leslie. Leslie's doing some great things. Wait, it doesn't say anything on her profile about how she's incorporating fun into these wonderful workshops and education sessions. So maybe something to think about, Leslie, is there something I can do to my LinkedIn profile so when people meet me through the Engaging Virtual Meetings Conference, they're going to fully identify the who I am with what I do. Oh, that Leslie, she is the top person who speaks about staying safe in these really challenging times. I want the good, cool informer of this knowledge. I'm connecting with Leslie. So just one example of, and I'm sure your profile is beautiful, Leslie. I'm saying this just because obviously when you introduced yourself, it stood out. You want to stand out. You want to present to the world, and Kristen as well. We were talking before because she's developing this business. Kristen, I want you to do a mini little LinkedIn makeover on yourself. Don't say, I'm going to be doing this. Say, I am doing this. So you are claiming your expertise so that when people are encountering you at the conference, they know, okay, Kristen, she is the go-to for this. So it starts by, and if you only have time to do one, do your LinkedIn. I was saying to John, because so I'm at the Deb Method everywhere, and you can learn more about me at thedebmethod.com/goals. But the other thing that I talk about is event outcome optimization, setting goals for events. And my goal was to have my new website, event-outcome-optimization.com, up today. I think it went live today about 3 hours ago. So setting the who you are and how you're presented to the world is really the first step before you go anywhere. So start with looking at your socials. Even if you take 15-20 minutes, this doesn't have to be a big overhaul, but make sure the who that people are going to meet is the you that you want them to meet. And then we can go back to the descriptions later if you want to take us off of screen share, because even though the picture of you going like this is fun, I want to get a little bit more feedback from our lovely live attendees, because this is what you get when you attend live. You get a little bit of an extra dose of lasered, yay raw, let's make a plan. So we talked about the goals for the conference, and I hope it's okay for me to pick on you again, Kristen. Please tell me, what is your mission for the conference?
So you kind of just hit it on, to network with people who, and I like what Cardell said, who can minimize my time and help me pursue my business. And that's what I'm hoping from this conference, that I figure exactly what that niche is in virtual events. Okay.
So for right now, what would you call yourself?
Is this what I want to be, or is this
Yes.
what I am? Okay. I want to be a virtual event host and producer.
Okay. Congratulations, Kristen.
Yes.
You are a virtual event host and producer.
Woo!
And so your mission at this conference is to obtain the skills and information you need to really take your business to go.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I love mission statements, but the other thing that I talk about is, once you figure out your mission, to set a motto, because missions, they're usually long, right? So, and mine is to help as many people as possible figure out what they want and how to get it, including how to best utilize live and virtual events to figure out what they want and how to get it so they can help more people, et cetera, et cetera. Blah, 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 blah. Very long. My motto is goal setting simplified. So in terms of the conferences, what I was talking about before, my mission at a conference is to meet as many people as possible so I can increase my visibility, make new partnerships, and learn new skills in the process. So my motto for the conference is meet all the people. Okay, really kind of lame, but it's what it is what it is. Now I'm having flashbacks to when I worked in corporate, and all the sales execs would say it is what it is. So so for you, Kristen, I would say the motto is to hit go or get to go.
I like that.
So any person you meet or any information sessions you go to, start with, are they going to get me to go? And maybe some of the advanced stuff is going to be too much information. So to go to the schedule and then pick off maybe 3, 4, 5 that you have to's. And then you could do it would be nice too, right? So look at everything that you're going to see through that lens. Oh, you're putting all the sessions in the chat. And again, I really like the way that you organized it, John, because it's all keynotes, no breakouts. There are ways to interact because we love chat and we love the social connections. And of course, you've got the big event at the end of the conference. And isn't there karaoke night in there as well?
Yeah, on Saturday night, Deborah, and there's an Engaging Virtual Meetings Awards. And one of the pieces of advice here, again, if networking is your goal, is that we leave private chat open and that you can really look to foster connections with other people. I can tell you personally, I've made most of my best connections networking in private chat at conferences I'm attending at, not speaking at. So
yes, and I'm going to share the story about how we met John through our mutual friend Bobby Carlton and Innovation Women. On a Friday, Bobby put in the chat that she was just interviewed by John Chen and he's looking for people to interview. And I said, oh, I need to meet John because he is the virtual meetings guy. I'm the event outcome optimization gal. This is definitely a connection I need. Next day, I got an email about this conference and I'm like, I'm bored. And I don't do bored, but I'm like, I've got a couple hours. I'm going to log in and see what's what. And there is John. So timing, opportunity, but also being open, those are all the elements that make for success. And again, when you know your mission for your business, you can line it up against your mission for any event that you attend, any person that you meet. And again, because the mission is so long, that's why it is so helpful to have a motto. And John, what is your motto for the conference?
This year is the new norm. What is the best practices of virtual for the new norm? But you know, Deborah, I have a secret motto. You ready?
Yes.
Zoom meetings that don't suck.
That works for me.
It's pretty much what we're trying to do. And there's so
Right.
much bad Zoom going on right now that there should be good.
Well, and you would think after 2.5 years of people being virtual and the fact that virtual is not going away because people discovered, oh, you mean I don't have to leave my house to meet new people and learn new things? Okay. Money saver, time saver, energy saver. You'd think Zoom wouldn't suck by now. You would be wrong. I mean, not this one, but there's so many people putting out bad things. And even though I haven't known you that long, John, there are things that I've picked up that slowly get incorporated into my workshops because you want to constantly learn and grow and be better and be the go-to, which is why, going back to Kristen, a year from now, I'm going to make a prediction that she's going to be on your stage. If she does all of the things, and that, for me, this is the goal I am bestowing upon you, Kristen.
You got ball and gold. And one of
So-
the here's Deborah is like there are two things that we teach during this conference that will put you in the top 1% of presenting. All you got to do is do these two things, and I got to tell you, out of all the presenters, that you'll go into the top 1%. And what's also amazing is that on the most recent polls that I've been doing, people on average have been rating engagement in their virtual meetings as a level 4 out of 10. Not my meetings, like all of the meetings in the last 6 months. 4?
Right.
We're talking. It's a 4, Deborah. 4.
4 isn't even midway.
Right. It's not over hump day. It's not even there.
Yeah. And John is, Renee said John's a 10. I put John at like a 15. Come on.
We got to get our come on. What's the Spinal Tap jokes run? My meetings go to 11.
At least.
I was thinking.
I think Deborah's closer, 15.
So does anybody else want to share their mission for the conference?
Mission or motto? Feel free to unmute. Hello, Warren. Mr. Swagataskel's in the house.
Cordell, can we pick on you?
I have enough space for it. Absolutely.
So
wait. Ready? Oh, wait, hold on. I'm playing music in the background. I think I got it. And wait, Cardell, deliver the line one more time.
I've got enough room for it. So, sure.
Okay, now we can go, Deborah. I just had to do
excellent. So, Cardell, I know you want to learn things, let other people's learning curves be your guide. But is there something specific that you're looking to get from this?
How to launch a business properly, whether it's going for insurance, networking, what have you. Obviously, marketing is a very, very big part of that. But going just a bit deeper, you want to market to the people that are looking for what you have to offer.
Okay. So, John, what do you recommend Cardell see this week?
Did I hear right? He's thinking about like how to it's on the selling side, right? How do I tell people more?
Yes.
Mhm.
You really got to look at how people present. So one of the things that in presenting here is that you can do things in virtual that you can't do anywhere else. You can be anywhere, you can do anything. So imagine, right? Cardell told me his program is about identity thefts, right? So you can actually do things like change your background to have things in there about identity theft as you go through a story around it, and it's hard to do that on a stage, right? You need a lot of tech, but it's all here. So here, do you mind, Deb, if I do a quick example?
Oh, no, I want you to do an example. Not only do I not mind, yes, please.
Okay, so here, I'm gonna, hold on, let me see if I have a few buttons that have not been on yet, so it takes me 2 seconds more. Okay, great. So Cardell, I'm gonna do a favor because I don't think you've ever seen this before, okay? I'm gonna try and do the super version of this. So Cardell, what I'm really trying to tell you is this, okay? I'm the author of Engaging Virtual Meetings, but how did I get here? I used to do face-to-face team building. There we go. So I used to do team building events, and face-to-face, it's not really good because then this little thing came around and screwed up my whole business. This is what my March of 2020 looks like. I had 15 canceled events. But wait a minute. So I leaned into my past and I said, what do I have to lean on? I was on this, which is Prodigy. It was a meeting space 35 years ago. So in addition to that, Cardell, I wrote a book called 50 Digital Team Building Games in 2011. So I don't make vaccines, but I do know how to make your virtual meetings better. So I put a class on Eventbrite. 5,000 people took the class, Cardell. Then my publisher calls me and they said, hey, John, do you want to write another book? I'm like, sure. So I wrote my second book. And in the cruelest joke, Cardell, that my publishers did, they said they didn't know how long the pandemic would last. So they made me rush the book. I finished it in 9 weeks, Cardell. It came out and hit the #1 Amazon hot new release, and in October of 2020. And so now I spend most of my time designing, producing, as well as speaking at and emceeing at virtual meetings. So, Cardell, what I really just want to tell you is that that took about 90 seconds, right? Let's see if I can get my spotlight to remove. There we go. So that took about 90 seconds. And you can tell then, right, if you didn't know me, you know something about what I do. And I'm able to tell a story in a way that in person, I can't do it that way. Does that make sense, Cardell?
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been advising people like you is saying, I think sellers right now too, I can tell you from my own business, I am like 2 or 3 times more efficient in selling over the last 2 or 3 years because I can go to so many meetings without having to drive to them. And so I have had days where I've had, 8 and 12 meetings back to back. And I actually kind of like it. I don't mind. I know it's hard for some people, but I've done so much training that it's really effective for me as a small business that's what's changed what's going on here. So these are things too. We're going to show you how to do this, Cardell.
So going into the
Great.
meeting, that I'm trying to come up with a good motto for you other than learn all the things, but to to go into it with
Do them too.
learn and do.
Yeah.
Okay. Teamwork. Love it. So as you're going through the sessions, and hopefully you will get to all of them, but really zone in on the ones that you think are going to help you most first, and then go back later, because a huge problem people have, there's a writing conference that I do this kickoff workshop for. I'm actually doing it again tomorrow. And the last one I did, someone said, but I can go to all the things. And I'm like, great, good for you. Pick 3, 4, 5 that you're really going to focus in and say, this is my goal. These are the ones where I'm going to get the most takeaways, and then I can make a plan to do with the information that's going to move my business forward. So if you can see everything, wonderful, but really target the few that's going to make the biggest impact at first for your business. Yes, John.
So Deborah, now that I know what Cardell kind of wants, here are probably the 3 sessions I would potentially look at for him. Number 1 is Shelley Golden. So she does Zoom makeovers. Cardell, she will improve furthermore what we see inside of your video to the point that it will help you in your selling, right? So that's one. The second one is Rachel Kassar has an actual AI program that will give you prompts while Zoom is running to do things like fix your posture, right? Or look into the camera. Or did you know this, Cardell? If you don't show your hands at least once during a virtual meeting, that you're 20% less likely, your client is 20% less likely to trust you or buy from you. So these are all things that will happen in the next week. You're going to learn from these people who, most of them are all of them are making their living helping people be better on Zoom or on virtual, to be honest.
Very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice. I love it. I decided I forgot to put my book in the chat. My book's in the chat. And what it does is the first half of it will run you through the Deb method. And then the second half is strategies for success. So if you need to figure out what you want and how to get it, this is really the easiest way to do it. Okay. Anybody else? I feel like I like 3s. So anybody else want to share their mission? I'm going to pick on Donna if no one else volunteers. Donna.
Donna, go Donna, go Donna.
Thanks for the support, Sandy. I'm such an easy mark.
No, you're just all smiley and excited, and you also know the curriculum back, forth, and sideways. So I figured you would be.
And I am excited to see everybody, but there's a couple of people that, Josh, I have been in meetings with and seen little snippets, but I want to see the whole thing of that. And I also, it's like Shelley Goldberg, she came to one of these happy hours and did some makeovers on the spot. And I'd love to see where if she's upped her game or the full piece of it. And yeah, I'm just here to do whatever needs to be done to make the conference a success. Is kind of that piece.
This is your purpose, but what I'm hearing from you is your motto is like reconnecting.
Yeah.
So that I think is like your guiding force. And yes, of course, you're going to be doing all the things, but to use the conference as an opportunity to reconnect with these people.
Yeah. And to reconnect with the people that I've met at the previous ones too.
Right.
That's a huge thing in growing this community.
Fantastic. So do you all see how creating a mission for the conference is really going to be helpful in sorting through all this wonderful information? Okay, so you want to do your planning. You want to do your LinkedIn /social/website makeover. There's one other thing that you can do ahead of time. Does somebody want to guess what that is? Renee, do you want to guess what it is?
Thank you, Renee.
Yeah, I guess prepare what I want to share with people about me and what I want to know about them.
Ooh, that's like a bonus. That's like a 1.5 of the Get Your Socials Ready. Yes. Do you have, actually, there are 4 things you picked up. Yay.
Write that down. You don't want to forget.
Yes. 1.5. Do you have a digital business card, or do you have a little, I do both. I have a link tree, but I also have a little, a paragraph in a Google Doc that I am prepared to copy and paste wherever I be. So yes.
Smart thinking.
Yes. So I will copy and paste my example right now if I can. No, of course I closed it because I don't know why. Oh yes, because I copied and pasted it and I said, oh, I'm just going to paste it again. And then I adding up more links. So you want to have something that's very concise, but also memorable. And I like to think I'm memorable because I'm presenting. But one thing that people usually catch about me is they say, oh, you're the Deb method. You named your system after yourself. Yes, I did. I have actually met people who we've been at a networking event together, but we didn't meet. But I've gotten a note that says, we didn't meet at the event, but I had to meet the person who named her system after herself. And isn't it fortunate that my goal system worked well? When I rebranded, I've been leading goal setting workshops for, if I did my quick story like John's, but not like John's because it would be me, my origin story starts back when I led events for Barnes & Noble back when I lived in Chicago. Someone said, would you like to start a writer support group? And I said, if you think people will come, sure. And it was a hit. And for me, that meant, what are you working on? What can we celebrate? How can we support you? What are your goals for next time? And that really evolved into what I do now. Flash forward to 2018, and my main communications client was going away, and I took it as a sign to fully step into all that I was meant to do. And Deb, determine your mission, explore your options, brainstorm your path is what I've been teaching for years, and it worked with my name. Anyway, I think I did 30 seconds, maybe 40. I talk fast. My point being, you want to do, when you're putting together your this is who I am, find something memorable that you could put in there so people connect with you. Yes, I did have a point. The other thing that you can do in prepping for these events is not only have that ready to copy and paste, but also have a form, great meeting you at the Engaging Virtual Meetings Conference, let's connect. So all you have to do, and you can use a text expander, something like Fly Message, or you can just copy and paste it from your Google Doc. So as you meet people, all you have to do is click their link, paste, great meeting you at John's conference, let's connect, or great meeting you at this session, let's connect. Or if they asked a question, I loved your question about let's connect. So I have 2 or 3 different versions of that so you can connect immediately with the new people you meet. And the secret is you want to remind them, but it also serves as a reminder for you for conversations down the line. About 6 months ago, I got one of those, what is it called? It's lunch date. I forgot what it is, but
This lunch? Are you dating, Deborah? What?
no, there is a, and this is really going to bother me. So I will let
It's
you know.
just lunch.
No, it's not. It's just lunch. It's who do you want to meet this week? Now this is really going to bother me because it's such a good example.
Oh, it's about having lunch with somebody different every day, right?
Yeah, for business connections.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Okay, I don't have to Google it. Anyway, somebody reached out to me and said, oh, on that platform, we met a while ago, let's have a meeting. And I went and looked them up on LinkedIn and I saw we were connected and I couldn't remember why. So I went and looked at the messages and it said, great meeting you today. So then I had to go back to my calendar and see what was on that day. When you say great meeting you at this session at the Engaging Virtual Meetings conference, you just saved like 10 minutes of Googling. My point is, you want people to remember you, but you also want to remember the people you connect with, make those genuine connections and start conversations to see how they evolve. So the more prepared you are prior to the event, the more you can be fully present and engaged during the event. And if you haven't already, please connect with me. If you haven't, you will likely get a LinkedIn connection request from me that says, hey, thanks for joining the happy hour with me and John tonight. And forever, I will remember that is how we connected. So you want your prep includes, to recap, you want your socials to be reflective of who you are and what you're doing now or what you are creating. You want to have your planning, you want to have your conference motto, your mission and motto, so you can really decide what you're going to go to and prep for it. And you want your little copy and paste or digital business card ready to go, as well as invitations to connect ready to go. So if you've done all that, then go through, there's one other important thing about your schedule. Look at your life. If you've got a very busy week, look at how many hours you can afford to spend at the conference live and only commit to what you can actually do. Because let's say you've got a big project at work due Friday and you've got, we'll use John's examples, 8 different meetings one day, 6 different meetings the other, but Thursday you are clear. Well, it's great that you're clear, but if the rest of your week is crazy, maybe you can only do 2 or 3 sessions. But look at your schedule so you don't overwhelm yourself. So when you're going to those sessions, you can be fully present, engaged, and get the most out of it.
Deborah, can I put an ad on here?
Yeah, please. Go for it.
The most recent research here, I'll put this article here in the chat, was a research on a huge collection of virtual meetings. And they said probably about 50% of the participants attend an event as it happens live. That kind of jives with what I've seen. But the key here is 71% of the minutes viewed by attendees were watched live. So those who are live, right, spend more time in the event. And so I can tell you this conference is much better live. So if you can carve out the time, you can do it. There is a recording, but I can tell you it feels different when you're on a recording than when you're on live in these sessions. And see if you notice that when you go through the first 1 or 2 sessions that you visit with. Thank you, Deborah.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for mentioning. And you would expect it to be perfect, better live, because it is you and that is the whole purpose. But again, if you can't, don't don't steamroll the rest of your life for this, because then it's a spiral. No one wants that. If you can only be present one day and be fully present that day, then do that.
Yeah, do that.
It's much better to do that than to be like listening in the background oh, good. I did make my point better. Rather than listen half-heartedly a couple different times, do it when you can be all in and fully engaged, invested. Any questions? I want to give a couple tips about what to do after the conference, and then we can wrap. Sound good? Okay. Any questions? Okay, then I will keep talking. At the end of each day, when you're on the sessions, go through your notes, and you want to take notes, but you don't want to take notes to the peril of actually digesting the information. So be on the lookout for key things, like the thing that John said about talking with your hands. I am not going to, because I think I do it naturally, but I think I've done it more since John mentioned it. I've been doing it more. So try to pick out 3 to 5 key things, key takeaways from, and it can be, you can take all the notes you want, but at the end of the sessions for the day, go through your notes and now highlight what you think makes the most sense for you to do first. Because, and this is my other big pet peeve about conferences, people come back with all of these notes and they're so overwhelmed, and then they've got to catch up on the work. Then they're like, oh, I'll look at it next week. No, you will never look at it again. Go through your notes, pick out the key action items, and then make appointments with yourself to do these things. And it can be an hour a week, it could be a half an hour, a couple times a week, whatever it is that you can commit to, again, without stretching yourself too thin. Put appointments in your calendar for taking the information and putting it into action. Also set appointments for these connections. So you're going to meet all these awesome people, but some of them you're going to give little asterisks to, because let's say you host a live show and they'd be a really good guest for you, or you see a potential partnership for this. A lot of the people that you meet aren't necessarily going to be clients, but everybody has their own tribe. The more people you know, the more people you know, the larger your community, because all the communities come together. So also divide and conquer your new connections. Make notes about who is the top tier, who is really nice, and who would be good for you professionally. And then people it was really nice to meet, maybe I will see them again. So however you want to categorize them. And then again, put in your calendar to connect maybe a week later. Let's do a Zoom coffee. Maybe 2 weeks later, oh, it was really great chatting with you. I really think we can do some really good things together. When can we talk? Or whatever makes sense for you. But if it's not in the calendar, it's not going to happen. So a good thing to do is to set networking goals. And it's as simple as doing continued outreach, whether it is engagement on the posts of the speakers that you want to get on their radar, or engagement with your new friends that you made tonight. So find little ways to connect in these little time frames that you give yourself. Again, don't overwhelm yourself, but keep those connections alive. Maybe some will be your once a week touch base, some will be once a month, some will be once a quarter, but really make some good notes so you know who goes into which category, and so you stay connected and moving forward. And the third thing that I want you to do at the end of this conference is make a list of your wins, because every win should be celebrated. So it could be that you made a new BFF. It could be that you learned the skill that's really going to transform your business. Whatever it is, list out the wins and celebrate them as you move forward, and then take the lessons that you learned. Maybe there's things that you missed, gaps in knowledge. Make a list, seek out that information, and keep going. Because when you know who you are, what you want, you can make a plan to turn it into a reality, and nothing helps really rev up that process than going to events where you can meet a lot of people, learn a lot of things, and elevate each other into creating that life, that business that you want. Don, back to you.
John, I think your mic is dead.
Oh, hey, check that out. All right, let's give a round of applause to Debra Eckerling. Look, I think that works, right? Yay! Look, I told you 25 years I could do this, or 35 years I can still get caught on mute. Every day I tell people that, because it's not your fault, all right? It's still so much to learn. Debra, thank you for all the advice on the goal setting. Yeah, thanks, Josh, for that. And it's really the key. If you want to get something out of this conference, is focus when you can. I understand that if you can't focus on every day, that's fine. But figure out, and then the other part is focus on the times and the sessions that might make the biggest difference to your goal. You can tune in the other ones, a little half-heartedly, but if you fully pay attention to the ones that you really want to get, I think you'll get the pieces that you want. Meanwhile, we're going to do this, Debra. We're going to say goodbye to our live stream. Everyone wave goodbye to our live stream. And Debra's going to hang out here for about 20 more minutes and answer any of your questions. Debra, thank you once again. Hey, I'm John Chen. I'm the author of Engaging Virtual Meetings, and my conference is next week. We've been hanging around with Debra Eckerling, who just showed some of the best tips on how to set goals to maximize this conference. You can still register. And did you know the research says most people register, 33% register for a virtual conference in the last week. So click the button. It's in the notes here if you're watching any of these live streams. Thank you so much, and I'll see you Tuesday at 9 o'clock. I'll see you next time.
So we start people and keep people, show we got heart. Now we're playing the game and we're totally scoring, learning how to make a virtual a business boring, showing up every morning, ready for the show. I'ma get ready. Cold engaging virtual meetings 2.0.
All right. I'm even going to end the recording so we can just hang out here, which is what we normally do in happy hour. And I can go back to my backyard, I think, if I push the right button.
Can I mention two things that I didn't say on the live stream?
Sure. Go ahead, Debra.
Well, I'll mention lots of things. In the chat, I've got two upcoming workshops. One's November 3rd, which is a deep dive. I call them pep talks, pre-event planning sessions. So if you really want to dive in and go through the process with me, and on November 15th, I'm doing my goal setting simplified workshop to set goals for the new year, which starts for me in December. A lot of people starting in January. Would love to have you. For either event, you can use the code John Chen for 20% off. So I just wanted to do the little, if you want to learn a little bit more about me and go through this process in a even more interactive way. And again, my book has all of this if you like to read things. So there you go. Okay, commercial over. What else can I answer for you?
Very cool. Any questions from the audience?
I volunteer as tribute.
Yay, go for it.
Where's the snare? Where's the snare drum when you need it?
Yeah.
It's on the soundboard.
It's upstairs.
Excellent.
Go ahead, Cardell.
So I have a working philosophy that I put into practice whenever I see a need or an opportunity for it. I believe in starting from day one. Whenever I learn something new or useful to optimize and essentially refresh my business, it's something that I say very, very rarely often. I can't live enough to make all the mistakes myself, so I should learn from others. And for someone, so my question to you is, for someone that's just starting out,